How's it going, y'all? I have now recorded this video like 20 times. I cannot figure out how to word some of this stuff to not come off as a D-bag or from a place of privilege. So hopefully by the end of this video, this makes sense. What you see below is not clickbait. I don't want to sell to you and I don't want you to buy from me. Now, there's some major caveats we're going to talk about. And the reason this topic is even coming up is we have friends and family that want to support me, want to support the business. And basically what I want to talk about is how you can support the business that would actually be really helpful for us. And then ultimately why I don't want to sell to you. So first off, I want to thank everyone that has ever supported us. It means a lot. And I hope that even after this video, you continue to support us. So I guess I want to talk about a couple of things that you can do that would really help. Watching these videos, sharing the YouTube, sharing the Instagram, reacting, commenting, liking, all of that stuff that other YouTubers talk about, or even other people on Instagram. I don't want to refer to myself as an influencer. I don't think I'm an influencer. The things that those people talk about or small businesses talk about, that's what you can do to help us. The catch would be buying from me or selling to you. Whichever you want to look at it. That's going to be the one thing that other small businesses might say that I actually don't want. And the next thing you can do is if you ever see anything on our eBay, link below, of course, I would gladly work out a deal with you on anything on our eBay. We have a lot of really cool stuff. So if you're ever looking for anything nostalgic, I would check our eBay. We have a lot of cool stuff. And then just anything you can do to get our name out there is always appreciated. If you have friends that want to sell cards or video games are obviously the number one thing. Letting them know that we buy, and I think we buy very fairly. And then the next thing is selling to me. That is probably the number one thing you can do is if you have video games, sell them to us. We've kind of built the whole business on trying to pay people as fair as possible so that one, they don't feel screwed in the end, but two, they're more likely to recommend us. So we try and pay as fair as possible. Some items, unfortunately, we can't pay as well for. Video games is what we can pay the absolute best for. I think we offer some of the best prices from anyone that I've heard of, especially when it comes to consoles. We're paying very fairly. There's actually a few consoles, like a fat PS2. We're actually paying more than price charting for that. Some people may still think our prices are low. We're not buying to collect, we're buying to sell them. That's just part of our business. And then video games, I think we pay very, very, very fair for video games. Sometimes we're high, sometimes we're low. I did have one example I was going to show you all. This is just a random game I grabbed, but we have GoldenEye 007 for the Wii. I think price charting has this game listed at $10. It's funny. One of my previous recordings, it was $10.15, but it's actually dropped literally 50 cents since I was recording this last time. This on price charting, which is a website you can use to kind of get a quick valuation of your games, says it's worth $10. We paid $12 for this game, and the reason for that is we sell on Amazon. We get a premium on Amazon because people are paying for the convenience, and so we pay a premium on stuff to sell for a premium. So that's why I do think we pay very fair. Sometimes we're going to be high, sometimes we're going to be low. Another example would be like Pokemon games. Pokemon Red. Pokemon Red is probably 50 to 60 bucks on price charting. I haven't looked it up in a minute. We probably are going to offer you $40. Now you're like, well, there's a $20 gap in that. Yes, that's true, but that's what we can offer. And then I also want to say, like, if you were to try and sell it individually, if you sold it on eBay, you listed it for $50, then you paid $4 for shipping, because that's pretty much the lowest you can get shipping for nowadays through the post office. And then you're going to spend $5 in fees, maybe $6, because I think they charge you 12 to 13%. If you sell over $600 worth of stuff over the next year, you're then going to have to pay income tax on all of this. And then you may have to also get an accountant because you aren't sure how to do the taxation and accounting for all this stuff. So I think our $40 price on that is fair. Some people get mad. They're like, well, it's worth $50. It is worth $50 if you sell it on a platform like eBay. You know, I said high and low. It's all about the middle. You know, some really cheap games, we actually still pay that or even more sometimes because We do a lot of games in that like $5 to $20 range. We're a volume seller, which just means we sell as many items as possible. It doesn't matter their value and how much we're profiting off of it. Some people may say that's a wrong explanation, but that's the way that I consider myself, a volume seller. Another thing that I think helps a lot of people is, say you have 100 games, you're gonna spend a lot of man hours listing, taking photos, shipping, all that stuff if you're trying to sell all of those individually, whereas I will pay you per item for all of those items, and it's just gone all at once. I think some of y'all have seen we've had a couple large purchases recently. We had the one from Levi, and then we had the one from Joel from Florida. That's why they sold us all this stuff. They gave us a percentage. Levi's was like, hey, this is the dollar amount, and I decided based on what I could see if that was worth it, and to me it was. We are still processing stuff from that purchase, and that purchase was almost a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months ago. We aren't prioritizing a lot of it anymore because we have mostly processed most of it, but we have hundreds of man hours into it. We aren't really keeping track of the Joel purchase as much, but we're gonna have hundreds of man hours into that as well. And so if you sell to me, you're cutting out so much of those man hours, shipping, taxes, etc. A lot of headaches. We take that on. We're willing to just deal with it and accept whatever comes with it, and we accept the condition as is too. This is not a ding on Joel. A lot of the games we got from him were in pretty rough condition, but we have the sources to replace the cases or resurface the disc. That's just part of the purchase. So kind of rambling at this point on that, but you get the convenience of just selling everything all at once. If you have a price in mind, that helps. If you have a lot of stuff, I probably can't do a 1-by-1 item, but if you have like 100 games, we could probably do a 1-to-1. So I would appreciate it if you would sell to me. That's the point I'm getting to right here, is like the best way to support me is to sell your items to us, and I do think we pay very fairly, and that's why I'm able to buy out vendors at cons, or buy out other resellers, because we pay very fair for what we're getting. And you also don't have to deal with returns. I'll put a screenshot here. I had someone return an item yesterday in a Ziploc bag. You can literally see what we sold them. So you don't have to deal with the pros and cons of eBay, which is where most of you would be selling. Whereas most of the stuff, if it's video game, we'll go to Amazon because we get a premium. Also, we do have a buy list for consoles if you ever want to sell those to us. We pretty much have a price that we pay per console. So if you're interested in selling us a bunch of consoles, hit us up. We are always buying, and I want all the consoles I can get from you. So I guess the point of the video is why I don't want to sell to you, or why I don't want you to buy from us, and that is we pay up. We pay up a lot for this stuff. So say, again, we'll go back to this GoldenEye. Again, it's just a random example. Say you wanted this. Pretty much across the board, friends and family get a 15+% off. Sometimes more. I've given people 50% off. Especially if it's on our eBay, we'll give you a lot of times 50%. Because say it's a $10 item, I know we're going to spend $4 or $5 in shipping fees, blah, blah, blah. It's the same stuff I was just talking about. I'll just give it to you for $5 because we're cutting out actually a lot of costs. But say you wanted this game, which I paid $12 for on eBay. If I gave you a 15-20% discount from price charting, which is what I would value the game at, they have it at $10, I would sell it to you for $8. So it would be a net loss of $4. I'm not saying I don't ever have that happen. I think we have scratch and dent stuff, so we have consoles that may have like cosmetic conditions that we would gladly sell. And if that's the kind of stuff you guys are interested in, sure, I'd love to sell that to you, because then we don't have to ship it. We try to make sure that the quality of stuff we are selling to people is high. I don't think you all want to buy a Super Nintendo that is missing plastic. I have an N64 over there that I was going to show. It's super cracked. I don't want to sell that to friends. I don't want them to say, oh yeah, my friend Nerd Nation that buys video games sold me this really cheap, but it's like super broken. Like, I don't want that out there either. If you are interested in that stuff, we typically do have a couple of consoles on our eBay store that are consoles that are broken or cracked or whatever. they probably work. We don't get a whole lot of consoles that just straight up don't work anymore. We do buy them. I don't really have a buy list for that yet. We're still trying to figure that out. But ultimately what it comes down to is when friends and family want to support me or the business, they think buying is what I want them to do, but actually I just want you to sell to me. I will always work out deals with you, friends and family. And a lot of times, if a friend or family, like a really close friend, asks and they want an N64, I just sell it to them as a loss. But as we continue to grow more and more, and there's more mouths I have to feed, whether it's my family or the contractors that work for me, the less I'm able to do that, in my opinion. Maybe it's the other way around. Maybe once we get, volume gets so high, pulling out one N64 doesn't matter to me anymore. But I think business-wise, it just doesn't make sense because we're taking a loss on the item, and it would be a perfectly good item that we could sell to Amazon and get that premium. So at the end of the day, thank you so much to everyone that has supported us over the last 3 years. It means a lot to my family, and we've been able to grow, and it's been an absolutely amazing, incredible experience. But if you want to support the business, like, share, comment on this video, sell cool stuff to me, and keep watching the videos. I'm out, gangsters.